This was an act of sheer evil. More than 1,000 civilians slaughtered, not just killed, slaughtered in Israel. Among them, at least 14 American citizens killed. Parents butchered, using their bodies to try to protect their children. Stomach-turning reports of babies being killed. Entire families slain.
President Joe Biden delivering an assessment that's difficult to absorb, but absolutely necessary that we hear and fully understand. The massacre of innocents has drawn global condemnation and predictably a ferocious military response from Israel, which is certain to intensify, which means the killing is far from over. In the meantime, with the genuine threat of an Iranian-backed Hezbollah incursion on Israel's northern border, the president offered this warning.
To any country, any organization, anyone thinking of taking advantage of this situation, I have one word: don't. Don't.
A very clear warning there from the commander-in-chief that said, I think we can all agree on something each of us likely heard from our parents. That is, two wrongs don't make a right, which means the difficult challenge for grieving Israel becomes destroying Hamas without wiping out tens of thousands of non-combatants in the process. Our conversation, I start with you, Gary Polland.
Yeah, and let's put this in context, okay? I think that's important, and I updated the statistics this morning. Israel's lost 1,300 civilians, 3,300 civilians have been injured. In the U.S. terms, if we extrapolate to the United States, it's 48,000 plus deaths and 122,000 injured. What would the United States do if we were attacked by cartels from Mexico, in northern Mexico, and had similar results? And I can tell you what we'd do. We'd carpet bomb Mexico. Carpet bomb. There'd be no question about what we should do. So why should Israel be restricted in what they do to protect themselves? And let me tell you, this is beyond the dispute. I mean, the Palestinians, in fact, have been offered a state numerous times and turned it down because they don't want a state. They want the state, everything. They want the Jews kicked out of Israel. They don't care where they go. In fact, now they want them all dead. A replay of the Holocaust. These people, these terrorists from Hamas, they chopped the heads off of babies. They shot babies. They shot women in the face so much you had to get their DNA to identify themselves. So I don't want to hear this stuff about what happened and, oh, I'm sorry, and Israel should restrain themselves. It's not a cycle of violence. You've got to do something about this. It's a cancer that will actually kill the world ultimately. We've got to deal with it, and Israel is. And to Biden's credit, he's been very supportive. Now, there have been threats by Iran. They're going to get in. And Hezbollah is going to get in, and I hope that Joe Biden follows through. If they get in, he needs to spank them hard to understand that the civilized world is not going to put up with this stuff. And maybe we can get Palestinian leaders that don't teach hate from their to the kids that they have when they start in school, because that's what they teach, by the way, funded by us in the United Nations. It's got to stop. If they can live in peace, you could have two states. It would work. But we've tried it. So far, it doesn't. And the only thing they want is the Jews to be dead.
Bill King, Hamas's stated public intention is the complete elimination of the Jewish people. I mean, you know, and you hear what Gary had to say. Are you fearful that this could explode on the northern border and be a larger conflict?
It's possible that it could. I think that Biden's making the right move with a tremendous show of strength. We have fleets basically in the Persian Gulf and in the Mediterranean, and these are not inconsequential fleets. This is the most powerful aircraft carrier we have in the fleet, the Gerald S. Ford. UK has moved a carrier fleet there. We just landed 2 squadrons of F-15s in Jordan. I mean, they are putting the assets in place that if anybody does try to take advantage of this, they would be immediately destroyed by the U.S. military if Biden follows through, and that certainly appears to be what he intends to do.
All right, Chal. Israel has been giving repeated warnings, asking folks in the northern part of Gaza to evacuate to the southern part. Egypt's not letting anybody in. I mean, in terms of the unfolding humanitarian crisis, your thoughts?
You know, what's going on, the chaos at the border right now is difficult to watch because there are families, there are citizens, Palestinian American citizens who are trying to get out, who can't because they've just closed out of safety issues. There are hospitals in Gaza City with children and families and people on life support where the administrators are like, please help us. We can't leave 300 plus people. So there is serious concern about the humanitarian process or lack thereof and those collateral damage of citizens. The other thing I'm really concerned about is this conflict conflating the idea that Palestinian people want this, right? We have a lot of Palestinian Americans. We have rallies right now that are pro-Palestinian. Let us be very mindful that there are Palestinians who want peace in this world, who don't want to see this, and who don't side with right-wing extremists like Hamas or Hezbollah.
All right, Paul Castro, anybody who knows anything about you understands that you, if anyone, can commiserate with people on both sides of this who are losing what's most important to them. As you watch this unfold, I mean, I welcome your thoughts.
Yeah, so it's been so troubling to watch the opening images of what happened when Hamas came and just started taking innocent lives, killing children, killing innocent people who were just trying to live their days. I am experiencing this not from the state level, and I defer to Gary and Bill on this especially. It's really about the tragedies in miniature. And I have many friends who are Jewish who are just horrified right now about what's happening, and I have Palestinian friends who are worried about what will be happening. And where I experience it is at the horror of what happened already. The images of dead babies, the images of people being paraded after they've been raped and after they've been beaten through the streets and being cheered. That amount of hatred is something that is going to take generations to undo. And my worry is, I know how I felt immediately after David was killed, and the amount of specific hatred I felt and had to battle through is being multiplied by millions right now. And I'm scared, but I also believe that people do have the right to defend themselves in this moment. And and I worry for our world, and I worry for my friends.
A few thoughts from you, Charles, about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, utterly horrific doesn't even begin to describe what we saw. And, Biden referenced the number of Americans that were killed. I think it's up to 29 now. And I want to point out that Congressman Corey Mills has gone over there, and him and his office have rescued 77 Americans. 98 Americans. And today they're getting a charter flight to get 218 Americans out at no cost to them. And, during a time where we're kind of looking for leadership, I think that's a real glaring example of leadership.
Hold that thought.